I'm Grace. Welcome to How to Play Hand and Foot Remastered. Hand and Foot Remastered is played just like the classic game, Hand and Foot Canasta, but with cards made specifically for the game, that make it easy to learn and more enjoyable to play. This video will focus on singles play. Singles games can have 3 to 8 players, and require one more deck of cards than players. Each Hand and Foot Remastered deck has a unique color on the back, to help you quickly adjust the number of decks you are playing with. The objective of the game is to collect the most points over 4 rounds. You collect points by playing your cards and completing melds and books. Melds are sets of 3 or more cards of the same rank, from 4 through ace. Books are melds of 7 or more cards, and can be either clean, with all natural cards, or dirty, with up to 3 of the cards wild. Melds and books must always have one more natural card than wild. Wild books are not allowed in singles play. To end a round, or go out, as it is called, you must complete 1 dirty book, 1 clean book, and play all your cards. In order to start building books, you must first meld. This is simply the act of placing legal melds on the table in your play area. Each round of play has a different minimum meld point value requirement. You cannot play any melds until they equal the minimum value. This applies to each player. Complete books and red 3s do not count toward minimum meld requirements. The point values for each card are shown here. You can also find the point value on the face of each card. For example, 3 4s would be worth 15 points, and 6 10s would be 60 points, for a total of 75. This would satisfy the 60-point requirement for round 1. Points are also available from books. Each player receives points for each book completed and for all individual cards played by the end of the round. Red 3s. Each are worth 100 points and should be immediately played, face up at the top of the individual's play area and immediately replaced with a card from the draw pile. Black 3s. Each are negative 100 points and should be discarded before all other cards. To begin, thoroughly shuffle the cards and place 1 or 2 draw piles in the center of the table. Turn 1 card face up to start a discard pile. If this card is a 3 or a wild, it is mixed into the draw pile and replaced. Each player then takes a small portion of the draw pile and, without looking at them, counts out 2 stacks of 11 cards each. If a player picks up exactly 22 cards, a 100-point bonus is awarded for a perfect deal. The first stack is the player's hand. The second stack is passed to the player on the left, and becomes that player's foot. Each player begins play with their hand and sets their foot aside, face down, in a location visible to the other players. To determine the order of play, each player selects 1 card from the draw pile. The player with the highest card, aces are high, begins the first round, with play continuing clockwise. The cards are then mixed into the draw pile. To begin each turn, players must pick up 2 cards, and must discard 1 to end their turn. The first card in the discard pile can be picked up, as long as that card does not complete a book from an existing meld. For example, if you have 6 8s played, you cannot pick from the discard pile if the top card is an 8. Also, a player cannot pick from the discard pile if they already picked a card from one of the draw piles. Once a player obtains the minimum point value to play their melds, they may choose to play the cards by placing them face up on the table in front of them, during their turn. To ensure a fair game where all players can see what melds and books they each have, we suggest the following card placement. Melds are placed in front of you, in ascending order, in a vertical row clearly showing how many cards of each value you have. Clean books are neatly piled and placed horizontally above the melds, next to the red 3s, if any. Dirty books must have a wild card placed vertically behind it to indicate it is dirty. To end the round, a player must play all the cards in their hand and foot, but they cannot even look at their foot until they've played their hand completely. If, to clear their hand, a player must discard, they must wait until their next turn to start playing their foot. If no discard is needed to clear their hand, they can immediately begin playing their foot. There is no obligation to announce that you are playing your foot. It is up to the other players to be aware of the game. Once a player has gone out to end the round, the scorekeeper will first note the 100 bonus points received for ending a round. Then, the points each player has in books, and the number of red 3s that have been played, are noted. All red 3s are then discarded. Players then count the values of the individual cards, including the cards that completed books. All cards that were unplayed are to be counted as negative points. Cards that have been played are positive points. Provide your total to the scorekeeper and help shuffle for the next round. And it's that easy. The player with the highest score after 4 rounds wins. If you need to review the rules, you can find them at handandfootgame.com, or you can download the complete guide to playing Hand and Foot on Amazon. This download is free to all Kindle Unlimited subscribers and contains a brief history of the game, singles and team play rules, and alternate rules many of our players enjoy. If you'd like to start enjoying Hand and Foot Remastered yourself, you can purchase a 4 or 8 player edition, as well as extra score pads and card holders, at handandfootgame.com. Enter the promotion code HOWTOPLAY to save 10% on your order.